All right, hey you guys, how you doing? It's Mr. Dimitri. Just wanted to make you guys a quick little video to go over the upcoming week we have ahead of us here. As I'm making this, it is Sunday afternoon at about 2:30. It's a beautiful day outside. Finally getting some nice weather. Hopefully you guys are out enjoying it a little bit. I'm sitting on my deck, going through everything we need to accomplish this week, and wanted to share that stuff with you guys. That way, if you have any questions, we can address them during tomorrow morning's quick little meeting we'll do on Schoology conferences. We'll have another one at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Probably only last 15 or so minutes. You're not required to be there. It's really only if you have questions. I'm probably going to go over a lot of the same stuff as I'm going over now. And if you do have questions, of course, you can always just email me. Send me a message through Remind 101, a text message. You can email me back through Schoology or use a lot of other resources. If you guys start to hear a lot of noise in the background, I apologize. My kids are out playing, so they might make some noise and disrupt me. But anyhow, so last week, or this week that's finishing up today, you guys have been working a lot with the context and thesis for your DBQ. And we're going to continue to build on that this week and focus more on the documents and how to use the documents in support of your context statements, and more importantly, in support of your thesis or your argument you're going to be making in your DBQ that you guys are writing throughout the course of the week. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I got disrupted there and had to stop my video. Not quite sure exactly what I was going over. It's been a few minutes since I walked away, but what I think I was getting at was that this week we're going to focus on with the DBQ really the aspect of using the documents and the evidence that you pull from the documents to support your thesis or your argument you're going to make when you guys write your DBQ. So in addition to focusing on those ideas of the use of evidence and documents to support your arguments, you're also going to focus a lot this week on reviewing for your Unit 4 materials, which is going to essentially be the content that you guys are working with out of information related to the transatlantic and oceanic exploration period. We're looking at basically, things like the new technology that enabled exploration during the years of 1450 to 1750, looking at things like Columbian Exchange. You guys can look at the effects of that, including, new types of labor like slavery and chattel slavery and the hacienda and plantation systems and all those various things. So I am going to have you guys continue to review based around the key concepts each evening throughout the week, or at least that's what I'm going to post as your schedule. So that's the plan. Just a few other housekeeping tasks at this point to go over with you guys. I have a online conference on Wednesday night for all the AP World History teachers, or at least as many of them that are keeping up with this as possible. That's going to be taking place with Trevor Packer, who's sort of like the vice president of advanced placement courses. And what he's doing in this one is he's going over a lot of the technology side of the actual exam that we have scheduled for May 21st. So sort of walking the teachers through the platform you guys will be using, and I'll get a lot more information about what you guys will need to be doing, not only to prepare for May 21st, but what that experience will actually be like at 2 o'clock on May 21st, the afternoon, when you guys have the 45-minute exam. I've got quite a bit of information now. I haven't shared it all with you guys, but a couple of things I do want to point out is that, you will basically, whatever device you choose to log in on, whether that's a phone or a laptop, based on the SurveyMonkey, most of you guys said you're going to use a laptop or a desktop, which I think is the best idea. Whatever device you log in on, and you'll eventually get a code that you'll use to log in yourself on that day, you will need to make sure that you upload your document, whatever document you create, the DBQ, whether it's a handwritten one that you take a picture of and upload, or whether it's a Microsoft Word document or Google Doc or whatever it is you type up. It has to be uploaded on the exact same device that you log in on. So my point is, you don't want to be planning to open up the documents on, say, your phone, or logging in on your phone and then having your computer as a second screen that you're going to type everything on, because then you somehow have to upload whatever you type on the same device, which would be your phone. So we'll get a lot more clarification on that kind of stuff this week coming up as I get going and go through this Wednesday night meeting. And then after that, they should be opening up some practice opportunities for you guys, where you're actually going to be able to go on and play around with the system and see what it's going to be like on the day of the exam, to make sure all of your stuff works and you'll be able to have no issues with it. Because basically the way it's going to look, you have 45 minutes beginning at 2 o'clock when you're able to access the documents to write up your essay. And then after that 45 minutes, you're going to have 5 minutes to get it uploaded. And if you miss that window, it's not going to get uploaded, the exam's not going to count, and then you're kind of in a situation where you have to go and do the makeup exam in the beginning of June, about 2 weeks later. Be a different prompt, and you take that one instead. That being said, if for any reason anybody decided this is just too much and, I don't think I'm going to be able to take this, I hope none of you are feeling that way, but if you already registered for the exam, which all of you have, if you simply do not log in on May 21st or on the makeup date in the beginning of June, you'll be refunded the exam fee in full this year. So, if you decided you didn't want to take the exam for any reason, you literally just don't do anything. You just don't log in to the exam itself on the day of the exam. Of course, if you want to get credit for the class, you're going to need to continue to be completing the assignments I provide you here in Schoology. So that's just a little bit of information about that. Let's move on here and quickly go over what we're going to be doing this week. So you guys know that the Schoology page here, you're going to find the folder for the week we're on here, week of 4/27 to 5/3. So that's Monday through Sunday. And inside this folder, you'll find everything you need. The first place you always want to start when we get into here is open it up and go to the, if I can get this to open here. Not sure why my Schoology page is not working. Let's see. My internet's just working real slow or something. Let's get back into it here. Sorry about this. Bear with me. Okay, so once you're in the folder here, the first document here is just a written description of the week overview, as well as what you guys are going to need to be doing each day, as well as a list of the assignments that you guys are going to have to complete. You'll have 4 things you have to turn in this week on various days by different deadlines. And of course, as long as you get it in ahead of that, you're fine. It doesn't have to be that exact day. You can do it early if you'd like to. So again, this description up here basically goes through things I've already covered. We're going to focus on the DBQ this week and supporting your arguments with evidence that you pull from the documents that you're provided. You will also be reviewing for Unit 4, again, that transoceanic interactions period of 1450 to 1750 you see here. I recommend that you review certain key concepts each night. There's 8 of them for this particular unit, so I would recommend you use 4.1 and 4.2 on Monday, 4.3, 4.4 Tuesday, so on and so forth, and then you'll be done after Thursday, and then over the weekend, next weekend, you'll be doing the general unit review, same as you've done for Units 1, 2, and 3 with Steve Heimler short little recap video. I think it's about 8.5 minutes this week, and then you'll be doing the notes that go with it. So, here we go. Let's go through the weekly schedule. Monday, tomorrow, you will be watching the Heimler History DBQ overview video from 2020. Now, I did ask you guys to watch this a couple weeks ago. We didn't do any assignments with it, and we didn't go over it at all, but I did ask you to watch it at that point. And you're going to be rewatching that again on Monday. It's about 18 minutes. It's just the general, he goes through the rubric, which for me is really important that you guys understand that rubric. I want you guys to make sure you know exactly what it is you're expected to do to get all of those 10 points. And again, we're not as concerned about that elusive 9th or that 10th point of the complexity, but we do want to make sure the 9 points that are easily accessible for you guys, you understand what they are and what you have to do to get them. So we're really focusing on getting those as we prepare our essays. So Monday, you're just going to simply watch the video. It's 18 minutes. And work on reviewing for Unit 4. You don't have to turn anything in. You don't have to do any written work that day. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we are going to do some work that goes along with the DBQ that was provided in 2018 on the AP exam. Back in 2018, a couple years ago, the prompt and the DBQ dealt with the idea of the use of railroads in empire building in Asia. So how did railroads, the introduction of railroads, basically from 1860 to 1916 is what the time period is, how did that period of, we'll call it, say, 55 years or so, how did railroads impact the building of empires or the empire building process in Asia? So we're going to be working with a modified version of that DBQ for the rest of the week, beginning on Tuesday. Now, of course, that was a 2018 DBQ, so it had 7 documents. We're only going to be looking at 5, because this year you guys will have 5 documents that go with your DBQ. It's modified and shortened to be able to fit within that 45 minutes. And what I've done is I've eliminated 2 of the documents, and I'll tell you which ones are eliminated. When you look at the actual packet of documents, you'll see those have been crossed off. And Steve Heimler, actually, the same Heimler history that we've been using a lot, because it's a great way to prepare for this, remotely especially, or virtually. He's using the 2018 DBQ for his first, what he calls his DBQ sesh, or sessions, that he's doing. So I crossed off the same documents he did, and then you guys kind of work with those documents and with along with his video he created for this particular DBQ as you guys start to work through it. So basically Tuesday, what you guys are going to do is you're going to read and analyze the documents. Okay? I've provided the documents. I'll show you where they're at. There's a folder for them back in the main weekly folder when you go back here. But the topic, again, was how railroads affected empire building from 1860 to 1918. You don't need to print them out. I mean, it's helpful if you are able to, but, you're not required to print anything. So if you don't have a printer, the cost of ink is not cheap, so don't worry about it. You can just look at them on, your phone, on a tablet, on your laptop, whatever it may be. But what you guys are going to do with the documents on Tuesdays, as you read them, you're going to complete the DBQ template note sheet. It's the same exact sheet I had you guys do 2 weeks ago with the DBQ documents about the comparing Christian and Muslim attitudes towards merchants and trade, where basically in the first column you're going to describe the content of the documents and any sourcing information, like about who created it and kind of what that might have done to affect it. And then in the second column you're going to essentially explain how does that evidence from that document kind of relate back to the prompt. So all the documents you read this week on Tuesday, you're going to read them thinking about how do these deal with or discuss the idea of railroads affecting empire building during this period. So on Tuesday, you're going to read the documents, complete the notes template sheet. That'll make you a little more familiar with them. That's due by Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. So you want to do that on Tuesday and get that submitted to me through Schoology, just like you guys have been doing. And then you're going to continue reviewing Unit 4 content. You're going to focus on Key Concepts 4.3 and 4.4 on Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, you're going to watch the Heimler history of what's called the DBQ Writing Sesh number 1 video. And that's the 18-minute video that he walks through the whole process of how you plan out. How do you think about the process, or how does the process of planning a DBQ look? And he's going to use the exact same documents that you guys used on Tuesday when you did your document analysis. It's the 2018 Railroads DBQ. He has students in the video cross off documents numbers 1 and 6, which I've already done for you, and then he renumbers them 1 through 5. I've already done that on the sheet that you have of the actual documents themselves. So you'll follow along on Wednesday. You don't have to do any work with it. You do not have to complete the DBQ worksheet that he does in the video, but you will be doing that on Thursday. So I just want you to kind of watch the process on Wednesday of how he plans the different aspects of the DBQ. And then you're also going to continue reviewing Unit 4. You're going to look at Key Concepts 4.5 and 4.6. Now, Thursday, I want you to start Thursday by spending about 10 minutes or so reviewing those same 5 documents to really make sure you understand what each one's about. You should be able to think back, in document 2 and be like, ooh, off the top of your head, kind of know the basics of what it is. Then you're going to rewatch the same Heimler History DBQ Writing Sesh video that you had on Wednesday, except this time you are going to complete the DBQ worksheet that he does as he's doing the video. You don't have to do yours exactly how he does it. You don't have to write the exact same things, but you want to jot down notes similar to what he does. Because basically the arguments he's making are 2 really solid arguments you could have made in 2018 on the DBQ, and then he outlines kind of how you would use the documents to support those arguments that he makes, the 2 arguments he kind of outlines. So you're going to actually complete that worksheet. You could do it on the worksheet, which I'll show you in a moment, or you could do it on a separate sheet of paper and upload it that way. And then again, continuing to review Unit 4, the last 2 key concepts, 4.7 and 4.8 on Thursday. Now Friday, this is going to be kind of like the big, bring it all together from the week. What you guys are going to be doing is writing a full body paragraph from the 2018 DBQ. Last week, you wrote the thesis and context, the context statement and thesis or argument paragraph for a different DBQ, but this week you're going to be going on and writing one of the supporting body paragraphs. So I'm going to give you a main topic sentence, which is essentially the argument for that particular paragraph, and I'll tell you which 2 documents you're going to work with on that particular paragraph. Your job is going to be to explain how each document, the content of it, supports the main idea of the argument, the topic sentence from that paragraph. And you need to explain how does it not only support it, explain how does this evidence prove the argument I'm making in this paragraph. You're also going to have to pick one of the 2 documents I give you guys for your paragraph and do a sourcing, meaning explain how the sourcing, either the historical context, what's happening around the time the document was created, the intended audience who it was created for, the purpose of the document, or the point of view, how one of those things is going to not only affect the way the document is written, but how that helps further support your argument. The sourcing of it needs to be explained in a way that helps support your argument. So you're going to write a full paragraph, and you're going to upload that into the Schoology discussion. Okay, this is going to be a discussion, not an assignment, just like we did on this past week, the one where you guys did your context and thesis paragraph. You're just going to kind of simply either type it in or copy and paste it or even attach it into the discussion for that particular assignment. And then the last thing to do over between Friday